5 seconds. I am pleased to inaugurate the 8th Center of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's Gandhi Institute of Computer Education and Information Technology. I have also had the honor of inaugurating the 7th Center of the Institute in September. It has been set up at my ancestral home in Gwalior by a trust established in my father's memory. It provides free computer education to students from underprivileged sections of society. Many may wonder why this institute, which is dedicated to providing training in information technology, bears the name of Mahatma Gandhi. There is a misconception that Gandhiji was opposed to technology, and here we are dealing with information technology, which is at the cutting edge of high tech. It is necessary to remove this misconception. I am not an expert in IT. I have not even used a computer any time in my life. But I know that information technology promotes some of the essential components of the Gandhian and Indian vision of development. First and foremost, computers and other advances in IT, such as the Internet, are a powerful tool for acquiring knowledge. And Gyan, as we all know, is highly extolled in our culture. Gyan Marg is indeed one of the paths to liberation. Secondly, IT is a major leveler in society. It empowers people even from underprivileged classes to quickly come up in life. It rewards people with ideas and innovativeness, as is amply borne out by the success stories of Indian IT professionals and entrepreneurs abroad. In recent years, we have many success stories in India too. IT will increase employment opportunities and generate wealth, both directly and indirectly. Shri Murli Deora tells me that all those who have completed their computer education course at the Gandhi Institute have got well paid jobs in business and in industry. Thirdly, IT will lead to decentralization of production and decongestion of our urban centers. When the whole world gets connected, people will be able to do their work wherever they are. In the highly driven world of the 21st century, what will be movable is information and not people. In short, IT is rapidly revolutionizing every aspect of our economy, education, communication, and entertainment. That is why, at a recent meeting in Bangalore, I urged the people to realize that IT stands for India's tomorrow. This is very much more for our people as such. For me, it is very satisfying to see the rapid spread of information technology in our country. but we need to march faster. That is why my government has set up the National Task Force on Information Technology and Software Development. In a short span of 6 months, the government has taken a number of initiatives to promote IT in the country. We have already accepted and started implementing the first report of the task force focusing on software development for exports. Our aim is to achieve software exports worth $50 billion by the year 2008. Just 2 days ago, the task force has submitted its second report aimed at making India a major hardware manufacturing center. It is presently being examined by a ministerial committee. I announced the salient features of the new internet policy in Bangalore last week. It allows companies in the private sector to become internet service providers. As promised, licenses will be issued to private ISPs before November 7. We believe that the creation of a modern high-speed telecom infrastructure is a precondition for making India an IT superpower. The government has therefore initiated major steps to resolve outstanding issues in the telecom sector. The spread of IT depends on two more factors: cheaper computers and more people trained to use them. In order to address these issues, the government will soon unveil three schemes aimed at increasing the number of PCs in the education sector. Vidyarthi Computer Scheme. The highlight of these schemes will be to make available a multimedia hub, innovative financial packages to make a computer affordable even to ordinary families. In recent years, there has been a huge increase in the number of computer training institutes. Every small town has such institutes which are training young and not so young people to use computers. Some of these institutes have become huge companies worth hundreds of crores. Thanks to the efficient way they run their business, our colleges and universities can learn some lessons from them. I congratulate these institutes for rapidly spreading computer awareness and training many people to use computers. However, these institutes suffer from one flaw: they understandably cater only to those who can afford their high fees. It is a sign of the times that many middle class families are spending most of their savings in sending their children to these training institutes more. However, if computer education is confined only to those who know English, India will not become an IT superpower. Stop.